Beyond the blinding flashbulbs and million-dollar gowns lies a sickening reality the entertainment industry desperately wants buried. We are exposing the extreme, stomach-churning filth masked by designer fragrances, the putrid personal habits that turn untouchable idols into walking biological hazards. This archive from Hollywood stars and scars documents the most revolting Hollywood scandals ever suppressed by publicists. It is a chilling look at the true price of fame, where intense vanity and artistic delusion breed unimaginable squalor. But how does an Academy Award-nominated muse end up arriving on a major film set, radiating the stench of decay from a dead shrimp rotting against her bare back for 2 weeks? The truth behind the glittering facade is far dirtier than you could ever imagine. Behind the glitter, the scars remain. Welcome to Hollywood Stars and Scars. Number 20, Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson dominated the global box office as the brooding, flawless face of the massive Twilight franchise. Paparazzi documented his every move, capturing immaculate red carpet appearances and a meticulously crafted heartthrob persona that generated billions. He was the obsession of a generation, entirely shielded by a high-gloss Hollywood PR machine. Behind closed studio doors, however, industry insiders reported an entirely different, deeply uncomfortable reality. The polished veneer fractured when the actor himself confessed to severe personal hygiene neglect. He admitted to rarely washing his hair, allowing it to remain unkempt and heavily oiled for extensive periods. Behind-the-scenes leaks detailed a challenging on-set environment where he went days without showering, persistently wearing the exact same unwashed clothing. Co-stars and crew members were reportedly subjected to an overwhelmingly stifling atmosphere, forced to navigate the pungent odor trailing the franchise's most profitable star. A multi-billion-dollar cinematic romance was built over a suffocating, unglamorous truth. The illusion of perfect on-screen beauty rarely survives the harsh realities hidden inside a Hollywood dressing room. Number 19, Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe stood at the absolute pinnacle of cinematic prestige, a commanding leading man who effortlessly captured critical reverence and massive box office returns. Blinding flashes immortalized a powerhouse talent, holding gold statuettes, projecting a flawless public image of intense, undeniable masculinity. The foundation of that revered persona, however, began to decay when his relentless dedication to method acting crossed a deeply uncomfortable line. During the grueling physical productions of historical epics like Gladiator and Cinderella Man, industry insiders claimed the actor intentionally refused to bathe the agonizing stretches of time. What started as a prestigious pursuit of gritty authenticity quickly spiraled into a severely disruptive on-set crisis. Cast and crew were reportedly subjected to an overwhelming, inescapable stench that completely hijacked the professional environment. Instead of his highly anticipated award-winning performances, his unbearable body odor became the primary subject of hushed, disgusted conversations across the studio lot. The obsession with artistic genius often breeds an ugly, unglamorous reality behind closed doors. Number 18, Kendra Wilkinson. Kendra Wilkinson embodied the ultimate California fantasy, beaming from glossy magazines and reigning over reality television from within a sprawling, notorious mansion. Cameras relentlessly chased her athletic, sun-kissed perfection, broadcasting an enviable lifestyle built on bubbly charisma and high-end glamour. She was a lucrative commodity, projecting a brand of untouchable allure that captivated audiences worldwide. The glittering illusion shattered when a deeply unflattering secret was exposed by those hired to maintain her physical perfection. An industry hair expert dismantled the manufactured narrative, leaking claims that the television star rarely bathed and entirely avoided perfumes. Behind the highly produced reality show scenes, insiders reported a persistent, pungent body odor that completely contradicted her immaculate on-camera presence. This devastating revelation rapidly eroded her carefully curated image. Whispers of a distressing scent, which reports stated sometimes resembled urine, permanently stained her professional reputation and alienated colleagues forced to work in close quarters. The immaculate blonde bombshell archetype is easily destroyed when the reality behind the lens reveals an inescapable, repelling truth. Number 17. Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman commanded the silver screen as an untouchable titan of high-fashion elegance and fierce cinematic dominance. Flashbulbs endlessly pursued her statuesque silhouette, cementing an immaculate, sharply tailored public image that defined an entire era of Hollywood prestige. She projected an aura of elite sophistication, operating at the absolute zenith of industry power and global influence. That pristine, revered mystique violently imploded during a seemingly routine high-stakes editorial photo shoot. Industry reports stated the celebrated actress arrived on set draped in garments noticeably soiled with the hardened remnants of old meals. However, the alarming visual disarray was immediately eclipsed by a severe, inescapable stench radiating across the studio floor. In a deeply unsettling revelation, production crew members finally located the source of the overwhelming odor. A piece of decaying shrimp had reportedly been stuck to her back for nearly 2 consecutive weeks, emitting a putrid scent that paralyzed the set. The flawless high-fashion armor of a revered cinematic muse is swiftly dissolved by the sickening reality of extreme personal neglect. Number 16. Zac Efron. Zac Efron sculpted an immaculate legacy, transitioning from a beloved teenage idol into a formidable Hollywood heavyweight, boasting a seemingly flawless physique. Blinding paparazzi flashes and glossy magazine covers chronicled his heavily curated aesthetic, cementing his status as a bankable leading man. He commanded global adoration, operating within a highly engineered public relations machine that sold pure fantasy. The meticulously crafted illusion fractured on a high-stakes film set when his private habits violently clashed with professional expectations. Despite rigorous physical training regimens, industry reports exposed a shocking refusal to bathe following intense workouts. This distressing negligence culminated in a deeply humiliating confrontation immediately preceding a pivotal cinematic kissing scene. A disgusted co-star directly reprimanded the actor, exposing an unbearable stench of tuna sandwiches radiating from his breath. Such a devastating exchange permanently scarred his pristine romantic archetype, transforming highly anticipated on-screen chemistry into a suffocating endurance test. Whispers of severe hygienic negligence quickly contaminated his sterling reputation among elite casting circles. The relentless pursuit of physical perfection often masks a deeply unpleasant reality hidden behind the lens. Number 15. Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz radiated across the cinematic landscape as the definitive, fresh-faced American sweetheart, effortlessly commanding multi-million-dollar paychecks. Relentless camera flashes tracked her signature dazzling smile and enviable athletic grace down countless prestigious red carpets. She projected a fiercely independent, laid-back glamour that solidified her as an untouchable box office titan and a global beauty icon. The sparkling, approachable facade cracked when she made a highly polarizing public confession regarding her extreme personal grooming philosophies. In a startlingly candid media moment, she revealed a total rejection of antiperspirant for over 2 decades, claiming the chemicals dangerously clogged her pores, further eroding her immaculate public standing. She openly admitted to a shocking habit of wearing the exact same unwashed outfits for up to 4 consecutive days. This self-inflicted PR crisis instantly dismantled the heavily marketed illusion of breezy, effortless perfection. Highly stylized editorial spreads were suddenly overshadowed by unavoidable discussions dissecting a deeply unglamorous reality hidden beneath designer labels. The relentless pursuit of extreme, organic purity frequently dissolves the very glamour Hollywood fights so fiercely to maintain. Number 14. Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston reigns supreme as the definitive sweetheart of American media, leveraging unprecedented television success into a highly lucrative cinematic empire. Blinding paparazzi flashes continuously celebrated her glowing, effortless charm, cementing a golden girl aesthetic that captivated global audiences. She operated at the absolute pinnacle of the A-list, projecting a curated Hollywood perfection that commanded millions. That brilliantly engineered romantic aura fractured on closed sets when the intimate reality of filming collided with an uncomfortable physical truth. Elite co-stars like Jason Bateman and Alec Baldwin were reportedly forced to halt kissing scenes due to an overwhelming scent of stale coffee radiating from the actress. Industry reports detailed an incredibly awkward dynamic where leading men had to quietly intervene, handing out mints just to endure the stifling contact. This jarring behind-the-scenes revelation poisoned the immaculate on-screen fantasy she was heavily paid to project. The seamless chemistry sold to theaters was actually a suffocating endurance test managed by frustrated colleagues. The most lucrative romantic illusions are frequently constructed over deeply unpleasant realities, hidden just out of frame. Number 13. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp conquered the global box office as a fiercely talented cinematic icon commanding massive blockbuster franchises. Flashbulbs relentlessly documented his bohemian allure on red carpets, cementing his status as an untouchable Hollywood rebel. He operated at the absolute summit of elite influence, projecting a cultivated mystique that captivated audiences worldwide. This highly lucrative rebel image concealed a deeply unpleasant reality when his intense commitment to acting crossed a disruptive boundary. During the production of Pirates of the Caribbean, the leading man entirely abandoned basic hygiene. He intentionally refused to bathe or brush his teeth to achieve raw authenticity. What began as an ambitious artistic choice rapidly devolved into an overwhelming on-set ordeal. The severe consequences of this personal neglect manifested years later during the filming of The Tourist. Media reports detailed a humiliating private intervention where his elite co-star Angelina Jolie forced him to use Listerine and accept mints to endure their romantic scenes. The most fiercely protected cinematic legends are easily shattered by the sickening realities concealed just off camera. Number 12. Megan Fox. Megan Fox exploded onto the global stage as the breathtaking, undisputed siren of the blockbuster Transformers franchise. Paparazzi lenses obsessively tracked her every move, capturing an intoxicating, flawless aesthetic that commanded magazine covers and ignited international obsessions. She was a heavily stylized commodity, projecting a fiercely seductive, untouchable aura from the summit of the Hollywood elite. Beneath that hyper-produced glamorous exterior lay a startlingly chaotic domestic reality that completely shattered her curated mystique. The celebrated actress candidly admitted to maintaining an incredibly disorganized and messy lifestyle away from the flashing cameras. Most shockingly, she confessed to a distressing habit of routinely forgetting to flush the toilet, creating deeply uncomfortable environments for her housemates. This unapologetic revelation of severe domestic negligence permanently stained the highly controlled, goddess-like image carefully built by studio executives. Close associates were reportedly left navigating a fiercely unhygienic private world that sharply contradicted her pristine cinematic persona. The mesmerizing fantasy of flawless Hollywood allure quickly dissolves when the unscripted reality exposes an inescapable, unglamorous truth. Number 11. Snooki, Jersey Shore. Nicole Polizzi, universally branded as Snooki, redefined modern reality television by transforming a chaotic, party-heavy persona into a highly lucrative media empire. MTV cameras relentlessly chronicled her signature towering hair, aggressive tanning, and raucous clubbing, creating an unavoidable cultural phenomenon that dominated early pop culture. She operated as a bankable commodity, projecting an unapologetic, fiercely manufactured aesthetic that commanded massive audiences worldwide. The glossy veneer of that highly produced reality dissolved when a deeply bizarre personal grooming secret was broadcasted to the public. Bypassing traditional luxury cosmetics, the television star adopted a highly unconventional and unsettling facial regimen. She openly confessed to utilizing granular unused cap litter as a harsh exfoliant and bizarre substitute for high-end skincare masks. This jarring admission instantly shattered the heavily marketed illusion of elite, glamorous celebrity maintenance. Tabloid headlines quickly pivoted from celebrating her highly paid antics to dissecting a shockingly abrasive approach to physical upkeep. The relentless pressure to maintain a camera-ready complexion frequently pushes famous figures into deeply absurd, unglamorous extremes. The brightest spotlights cast the most suffocating shadows. When human beings are reduced to highly engineered commodities, basic self-care is frequently the first casualty. This severe physical neglect operates as a stark behavioral distress signal, not merely a lapse in grooming. The relentless pressure to project flawless perfection fractures the psychological foundation of those trapped behind the lens. To maintain a multi-billion-dollar illusion, icons retreat into isolating, unsanitary coping mechanisms, leaving colleagues to navigate the silent, collateral damage. The collapse of the private self is the hidden cost of public worship. But the disintegration of hygiene is merely the surface. What happens when the facade completely rots away? Number 10. Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera possessed a breathtaking vocal powerhouse that defined an entire pop generation, commanding massive international stages with a meticulously curated, hyper-glamorous diva persona. Draped in bespoke haute couture and blinding diamonds, she relentlessly dominated global charts and prestigious red carpets, projecting an aura of untouchable, elite perfection. The celebrated vocalist reigned as the ultimate pop royalty, heavily insulated by a fiercely protective public relations machine designed to maintain her flawless aesthetic. That glittering, pristine illusion severely fractured during a high-profile public appearance when a deeply unsettling personal habit leaked to the press. According to widespread reports, a shocked bathroom attendant witnessed the global superstar exiting a private stall and completely bypassing the sinks, walking straight out into a crowded luxury venue. This distressing lapse in basic sanitation immediately escalated into a quiet but devastating public crisis. Industry insiders claimed the singer enthusiastically returned to her lavish VIP table and began gripping the hands of eager fans, totally obscuring the unhygienic reality of the exchange. The most carefully polished superstar veneers frequently conceal an unapologetic, deeply uncomfortable truth. Number 9. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow stood as the ultimate beacon of elite Hollywood wellness, translating Academy Award-winning prestige into a sprawling billion-dollar lifestyle empire. Flashbulbs endlessly pursued her pristine red carpet appearances, projecting an untouchable aura of organic luxury and highly curated perfection. She commanded an army of loyal followers, monetizing a brand built entirely on flawless, holistic beauty. That meticulously engineered facade suffered a humiliating fracture during the fashion industry's most exclusive, heavily scrutinized evening. Inside the claustrophobic opulence of the Met Gala, a disastrous experiment with natural aluminum-free deodorant spectacularly failed under the intense glare of the spotlight. Industry insiders claimed the ensuing situation became severely disruptive, forcing A-list guests to discreetly wave away an inescapable, pungent odor radiating from the wellness mogul. This deeply jarring public incident instantly compromised the immaculate high-end purity her company so aggressively marketed. Whispers of a distressing physical reality quickly overshadowed her bespoke haute couture, transforming a highly anticipated appearance into an agonizing PR disaster. The relentless pursuit of extreme organic purity frequently exposes a deeply unglamorous, inescapable human truth, hidden beneath the diamonds. Number 8. Kourtney Kardashian. Kourtney Kardashian operated as the grounded, impeccably styled matriarch of a multi-billion-dollar reality television dynasty. Cameras relentlessly captured her sleek, high-end Calabasas lifestyle, cementing an image of untouchable, perfectly curated domestic luxury. She wielded massive influence, commanding a lucrative personal brand built on holistic wellness and elite aesthetic perfection. That highly produced illusion of pristine Californian glamour fractured from within her own deeply publicized inner circle. During a highly documented chapter of motherhood, the reality star made a strict, uncompromising pivot toward natural living, completely eliminating conventional antiperspirants to protect her nursing child from harsh chemicals. This extreme dedication to organic purity quickly spawned a deeply uncomfortable domestic crisis hidden behind mansion gates. The jarring reality of her new lifestyle was aggressively broadcasted when her high-profile ex-partner publicly lamented the severe, inescapable body odor plaguing their household. Tabloid headlines eagerly weaponized these intimate complaints, dissecting the highly unglamorous consequences of her rigid wellness protocols. The relentless pursuit of absolute maternal purity often exposes the deeply unpleasant realities masked by extreme wealth and heavy editing. Number 7. Harry Styles. Harry Styles ascended to stratospheric heights as the heavily styled centerpiece of a record-breaking global music phenomenon. Relentless paparazzi flashes documented his effortlessly cool, fashion-forward persona, cementing a highly lucrative idol aesthetic. He commanded international adoration, projecting an untouchable, magnetic perfection. That meticulously polished facade fractured when intimate complaints from within his own ultra-exclusive inner circle leaked to the press. Behind guarded dressing room doors, former bandmates actively ridiculed a deeply unglamorous reality. They weaponized his distressing flatulence and publicly declared that no amount of wealth could compel them to endure the overwhelming stench of his unwashed socks. The highly controlled narrative cracked further when harsh whispers emerged from a high-profile romance. Reports detailed an agonizing dynamic where an elite girlfriend was allegedly repulsed by his foul breath, particularly following nights of heavy drinking. What was marketed as a flawless teenage dream dissolved into a deeply awkward series of humiliating hygienic grievances. The most fiercely protected heartthrob illusions frequently conceal an intensely unappealing physical truth hidden just out of frame. Number 6. Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher emerged as the quintessential Hollywood heartthrob, leveraging sitcom superstardom into a formidable A-list empire. Camera flashes eagerly tracked his curated boy-next-door aesthetic across countless red carpets, solidifying an untouchable, highly bankable brand. He projected effortless magnetism at the absolute intersection of cinematic influence and elite power. That pristine public narrative collapsed during a startlingly candid media appearance that unraveled his unconventional domestic reality. The celebrated actor publicly confessed to abandoning daily full-body bathing, admitting he strictly washes only his armpits and groin. He further exposed a controversial parenting protocol shared with his high-profile spouse, revealing they vehemently refuse to use soap on their children unless visible dirt is present to protect natural body oils. This self-inflicted PR crisis instantly ignited a fierce public backlash, forcing audiences to reconcile his polished on-screen charisma with a highly scrutinized lifestyle. Blistering tabloid headlines aggressively dissected his household hygiene, irreparably eroding the glossy veneer of a meticulously manufactured superstar. The carefully constructed illusion of elite Hollywood royalty shatters effortlessly when bizarre domestic ideologies step into the spotlight. Number 5. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt reigned as the absolute pinnacle of masculine Hollywood glamour, anchoring massive blockbusters with a devastatingly charismatic screen presence. Lenses obsessively worshipped his sculpted aesthetic, generating a cinematic empire built on untouchable desirability. He commanded industry reverence, projecting a bulletproof leading man aura entirely immune to ordinary life. This meticulously cultivated god-like status fractured within the suffocating trenches of high-stakes productions like Fury and Inglourious Basterds. Industry insiders claimed the iconic star completely abandoned traditional showers during grueling filming schedules, opting for a highly unconventional substitute. Whispers leaked from enclosed sets, revealing he relied almost exclusively on baby wipes for personal cleansing, a distressing shortcut that failed miserably to mask a severe body odor. Colleagues were reportedly forced to endure the deeply uncomfortable consequences of his extreme on-set hygiene choices. The jarring contrast between a global sex symbol and an unwashed reality permanently tainted his pristine behind-the-scenes reputation. The most intoxicating illusions of silver screen perfection are brutally dismantled the moment an inescapable scent permeates the studio lot. Number 4. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift single-handedly dictated the tempo of the modern music industry, reigning as the undisputed architect of a billion-dollar pop empire. Sold-out stadium tours and shimmering award show appearances projected a meticulously crafted, fiercely loyal girl-next-door fantasy. She commanded unparalleled global devotion, operating as an immaculate brand, seemingly immune to the gritty realities of mere mortals. That flawless, untouchable pop princess narrative unexpectedly unraveled during a highly publicized daytime television broadcast. Sitting beneath the blinding studio lights of the Ellen DeGeneres show, the global superstar casually dismantled her own pristine aesthetic. She openly confessed to completely bypassing active sanitation for her lower body, shockingly admitting she relied solely on the incidental runoff from shaving cream to cleanse her legs. This jarringly unhygienic revelation instantly triggered a massive wave of public disbelief and fierce tabloid scrutiny. Heavily edited magazine covers praising her perfection were suddenly eclipsed by viral debates dissecting a deeply unglamorous domestic habit. The unyielding pressure to maintain an immaculate idol facade easily collapses the moment a global icon accidentally confesses an uncomfortable truth. Number 3. Kesha. Kesha electrified the music industry as the glitter-drenched architect of rebellious party pop anthems. Paparazzi lenses obsessively captured her commanding global arena tours and chaotic, highly profitable red carpet appearances. She operated as an unstoppable chart-topping force, projecting an unapologetic, carefree aesthetic that translated into a massively lucrative brand. This heavily marketed illusion warped into genuine public concern when her extreme personal practices were broadcast worldwide. Beyond admitting she deliberately refused to wash her hair to preserve natural oils, the pop star made a deeply unsettling decision during an intimate documentary shoot. Chasing unverified holistic health benefits, she was captured on camera consuming her own urine, instantly igniting a devastating PR crisis. The shocking footage immediately eclipsed her glittering musical achievements, transforming her fiercely independent image into an agonizing media spectacle. Although she later expressed profound regret for the irreversible stunt, the disturbing broadcast permanently scarred her commercial standing. The relentless pursuit of radical wellness often forces celebrities to immortalize their most humiliating mistakes on film. Number 2. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise reigned as the invincible titan of blockbuster action, commanding theaters with a meticulously preserved, ageless aesthetic. Lenses endlessly immortalized his signature intensity, projecting an untouchable, eternal youth that defined decades of Hollywood dominance. He operated at the absolute zenith of the elite, a seemingly indestructible cinematic architect. That curated illusion of effortless vitality cracked when whispers of a deeply disturbing beauty regimen leaked to the press. Desperate to stall the inevitable decay of time, reports stated the leading man turned to a highly controversial cosmetic procedure known as the geisha facial. This shocking anti-aging obsession involved smearing sanitized avian feces directly onto his famous complexion, aggressively exfoliating and artificially brightening his heavily scrutinized skin. This extreme dermal protocol instantly contaminated the natural, rugged allure marketed to international audiences. Glossy spreads praising his superhuman longevity were eclipsed by debates dissecting the unsavory extremes required to maintain a billion-dollar facade. The frantic battle against mortality often exposes the deeply unglamorous desperation hidden beneath a megastar's ageless mask. Number 1. Post Malone. Post Malone dominated the global streaming charts as the ultimate architect of a genre-blending, heavily tattooed musical empire. Stadium spotlights relentlessly illuminated his rugged, unapologetic aesthetic, cementing a fiercely independent, anti-hero persona that generated billions. He operated as a massively lucrative cultural force, projecting an invincible aura of raw authenticity. This fiercely marketed rebel image morphed into a deeply alienating professional crisis behind the scenes of his sold-out tours. The chart-topping artist completely rejected conventional grooming standards, unapologetically refusing to utilize any deodorant or cologne, while insisting his body produced a superior, natural musk. What started as a gritty commitment to organic living rapidly escalated into a highly disruptive, inescapable odor that overwhelmed his immediate entourage. Devastating industry whispers eventually exposed the severe consequences of this uncompromising physical ideology. Tabloids eagerly circulated intense rumors claiming a former manager was forced to abruptly resign, simply unable to endure the suffocating stench radiating from the superstar. The relentless pursuit of an unvarnished aesthetic frequently sacrifices the very people tasked with maintaining the lucrative illusion. The filth beneath these Hollywood scandals is rarely just rebellion. It is often a silent fracture. When a ruthless ecosystem demands flawless illusions, the crushing isolation of fame breeds desperate coping mechanisms. These aren't merely unhygienic choices, they are the symptoms of real people suffocating under synthetic halos. As we archive these tragedies at Hollywood Stars and Scars, the real warning emerges. Preserving your sanity often requires the immense courage to walk away from the applause before the stage consumes you whole. When the blinding paparazzi flashes fade into cold silence, the flawless illusion crumbles, leaving behind the irreversible rot of vanity. No fortune can scrub away the stench of reality. To decode the buried truths the media machine desperately hides, subscribe to Hollywood's Stars and Scars. Join us as we unspool the next restricted reel of Hollywood's scandals, exposing the chilling price of the pedestal before the velvet ropes close again. Remember, the stars sell the fantasy, but the scars tell the truth.